Here we go. Here we go. The Bears have won the toss and they have deferred. And this is how we will end week one. I can't do that. I keep forgetting. I'll keep it available in case there's something that comes up injury-wise. All right. So, the Bears have won the toss and deferred. Here we go with the Monday Night Live Stream, week one. I am involved with the Vikings in all aspects, contests, other stuff, you name it. Not particularly concerned about Ben Johnson and the Bears just yet. Obviously, they are going to be good in due time. It's tough to say just how good, how fast, given how bad the Lions looked yesterday. But maybe that was some of the Jets. Maybe Aaron Glenn's was great too. I mean, they probably could have done much better than they did. Should have beat Pittsburgh probably. Second highest scoring team of the day games. McCarthy appears to check to a run on the first play. They run him out of bounds and no penalty for roughing or any of that stuff. So Vikings were laying one at the end. It was a pick at the end as well. Just a great two-way game for most people that I talked to. A couple said that they did have a decision. One guy told me he did have a decision, but he didn't share with me who they needed. Had a book that will remain nameless for now. I was a little disappointed. I tried to prod, and I was like, sure you can't give me a little bit of a hint? You want to tell me who it is? He goes, nope. I go, okay. McCarthy hits the tight end out of the backfield on the play fake. I have this game on ABC tonight, therefore I will be ahead of you. So I'll let you know how things happen and how they transpire, and certainly that will be good for live wagering. Halftime, obviously, I'll be around for that as well. Vikings will have third and short here a minute into the game at Soldier Field. The total in this game ended up closing at 43.5 for the most part, give or take a few spots, but by and large, the consensus total towards the end was 43.5. McCarthy drops back. There is some small pressure. They did get him. Going to be a sack for maybe just a yard or two, and it'll be a 3-and-out for the Vikes. Jim Cornelius' national anthem was top-notch. That guy, I made a tweet just a minute ago talking about last night's NFL set some sort of a bar that I thought would be untouchable, given the way the game played out and everything. And wow, you follow that up with that finish and that game, and then the first thing you see tonight is Jim Cornelius' national anthem, and the guy ripped the roof off the Soldier Field. The planes came in right at the same time it was over with. You've heard him before if you're a hockey fan. He does do Blackhawks national anthems, and he's also the voice of the Indy 500 back home again in Indiana. So he is from my state. Bears receive the punt. It's a good punt, but not a great punt, and they get it all the way out to the 39. So the Bears will start 12:45 to go in the first. Usually the Mouse does a good job, if it's a short drive, of not taking the commercials. So Caleb Williams will come onto the field in the Ben Johnson Bear offense, and the regime is underway. Live price Pinnacle already says the Bears are a 1.5-point favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me look. I'll have to look at their live in a second. The first half closed. Let's see, 21 flat, and most places were pick or half the dog a bunch of money on Minnesota, which would make sense. Live price is down for just a minute. They'll probably put it back. Yeah, Bears 2.5. It looks like 41.5 flat. Williams drops back, pumps fake, fires again to a safety valve. That's going to be just a short game to Swift, I believe. Out. That's the rookie running back out of Georgia. I don't have any purple shirts. The best I got is maroon or whatever the hell this color is that I'm wearing tonight. Those of you who are around, feel free to fire a chat. Feel free to, blitz off the left side. He got away from it. Now he's going to have all day to throw it. It's Swift again. Makes the first guy miss, and he's got a first down out past midfield. Williams, good patience there. The play was blowing up. and he realized it and got out before things got out of control there. So the Bears pick up the first down. Yeah, that was supposed to be Komet, just missed the block. Williams, good awareness and got good elusiveness to get out and extend the play. At that point, the Vikings really didn't have any answers. So we'll call it at the 50. This is a pitch. Swift cuts it back. It's 4. One thing I like that NBC does, especially as the season gets games under their belt, that ABC, NBC, ESPN doesn't, is they have the PFF ratings and they rate the players at their position level, so you can see how good, how good the guy's playing compared to his peers. Play fake. Williams has time, fires it back again. This is the running back for about the 4th, 5th touch in a row. This time it's the backup. He gets enough yards, 6 or 7 for another Chicago first down. Showing Odunze clear out that part, but the Vikings are in a zone. They just the back on the fake just sat down in front of the zone. Play fake again, fires over the middle. This one, is that more? I think so, and it's caught. Be fascinating to see how they incorporate more in Odunze this year into that offense. Clearly, the trade for Moore made him the Bears' #1 receiver, and then they drafted Odunze, and now he's got a 2nd year under his belt. Komet's a veteran. They have the rookie running back. The Bears certainly have some pieces. They run it again. This time the Vikings are having none of that. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. 5.5 into the first quarter. Bears live price 3 and 42.5. Tough to know whether these things are actually scripted or not. I'm guessing a Ben Johnson offense is, if I remember from Detroit right, the last couple of years. Motion left, it'll be trips left for the Bears timeout. Ran out of time, or they got it right at the clock hit 0, one or the other. Yeah, they're going to give it to them. So timeout Bears, 8:50 to go in the first, 3rd and 5. Outskirts of field goal range. 3 and 40, there's 41 at Chris now, 43 under a bunch of Pinnacle. Timeout on the field. Not sure how long I'll be with you. Be glad to go over some of the recaps, the big points to hammer home yesterday. Really, Steelers game against the Jets, top game on the rotation board, and the lowest total on the board. Went over the total, flew over, lowest total, only game in the 30s, fell 66. Every other game on the Sunday schedule at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern stayed under. The night game between Baltimore and Buffalo, an instant classic. It's been 22 hours, and I still have no idea how the Ravens lost that game. Well, I know. There's just so many things, confluence of factors that cost them the game. I'm still shocked by it. Williams drops back. Nothing there. Rolls right. Fires right. Odunze, are they going to call this a catch? That is a great play. It seemed like nothing was there. Williams is hurrying, wanting to go fast. First foot is down. The second foot is real close. I don't know if the Vikings are going to challenge. It's too late now. It's down to the 13. They snapped it. Caught at the 10. First guy misses down to the 6. Dunze's a monster. There's just so many good receivers, man. This league is crazy. I think that's a catch. Really good pass, by the way, too. It really happened really fast. But either way, regardless of the result, that was a really nice pass. 2nd and 3 Bears. They'll have 3 in pocket. They're looking for 7 here. Ball is at the 7. Horrific start for my Vikings. Williams 6 for 6 for 51 yards. Now we got a stoppage. This one's going to be a Minnesota timeout? Yeah. So I think the way that this coach from Minnesota has always been, he's great, by the way. Top 3 in the league, if not the best. Is as bad as things have gone here, you basically have 2 plays. And this Detroit guy, he's ultra aggressive, and now he's the Bear coach. Both these teams are ultra aggressive on 4th down, so maybe it's just already 4-down territory. Tough to say for sure, but you think that he's operating under the fact that they don't get any more yards. There's a really good chance that they're going to have to kick a field goal. And despite all the shit that's happened, them taking it right down the field here, if you can hold them to 3, then that turns into like a win. And if not, then of course it's a horrible start because you punted and they scored a touchdown. And of course they get the ball after. Run to Swift, there is nothing there. They're going to have to abandon that real fast. I mean, the Bears have clearly had some success throwing, but the last 2 run plays have been swallowed up in the backfield. Third and 6 at the 9. Clock running at about 7:10 to go in the half. Shotgun. Nobody back there. Rolls left. He's going to try to run it. And he's got the 1st down at least, and I think he's got the touchdown. And wow. That's the best that Caleb Williams has ever looked in the NFL. 9-yard touchdown rush. Bears 6, Vikings 0, point pending, 7:04 left in the 1st quarter. Bear fans are going to be about as insufferable as, let me think. I'll have to think of a fan base that's annoying when they're good because they're not good very often. I'll come up with one at some point. Can't wait to have a bunch of chat, a bunch of people in the chat. I'm sure that they will all be able to help me with that. Extra point good. 7-0 Bears, 7:04 to go. 1st quarter. Live line, Bears 4.5. There are some 5s out there. Total 45. I am here. I'm going to eat. I'm going to mute myself and put up the line screen. Be back in 2 minutes. All right. Bears had about the best start they could possibly have. Now they just rocked the guy on the kick return. I can't believe 4 from Minnesota didn't even fumble that. Already smashed it. Price paid the price there. Second draft for the Vikings, 6:59 to go. They'll start at their own 24. This is just the Jefferson. You can be for sure that somebody over there should get this guy the freaking ball at some point between the time that they punted and the time that they went on the field here before this drive started. Jefferson quickly has been an elite receiver in this league, really from day one. 6th season from LSU. Trips left in a bunch. Quarterback checking out. He gives it to the running back on 2nd and 6, and they get maybe 2. So I'm not sure what he's had called, but both of the audibles on each of these first 2 drives have only netted a short gain. So I'm sure that they give him confidence, and as good as that coach is with quarterbacks, I'm sure they give him confidence to do whatever he wants to. But in theory, if he keeps checking the plays and only gain 2 yards, they're going to put a stop to that. Shotgun now, trips left again. From the 35-40 to go first. Motion left from the slot. He evades the first guy. Hasn't been touched, I don't think. Yeah, they say he did. So he tripped up by Dexter and it falls down right at the line. It's going to be close to another sack. Either way, it's going to be another Minnesota punt. Little communication issues maybe with his lineman there. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Kind of a tough break. He saw what he was doing. He wanted to go, and he had room to run. So the Vikes will punt again. 2nd 3 and out to start things. This is back inside the 20. Missed tackle, another missed tackle. They got him at the 24. Bears will start there. 4:51 to go in the quarter. Live price, Bears, 7. Wow, that seems absurd. But until I see the Vikings do something, I can't argue with it. There is a 6.5 minus a bunch of money as well. Total 43, 43.5. I'm here. I'm also still finishing up food. I was cooking. I basically made something that resembles a bowl that you get at Chipotle. It's got chicken chunks, corn, black beans, onion, diced tomatoes, kind of like a Rotel mix, cilantro, and Spanish rice. And it's good, but it took a little longer to cook than I anticipated, so it wasn't quite ready at kickoff, or it was ready, but I haven't eaten it at kickoff, so forgive the unprofessionalism. I am a little happy today that I did get the guy that I'm working with on Fiverr is the name of the place, call him my graphic manager or my designer. He's going to be working on my logos and my screen stuff, especially for Twitch, to make it look all nice and pretty, so kind of excited about that. Anyways, give me just a minute here. For those of you who are watching the game with audio, I recommend you not do that in the future and watch me instead. I'm not watching with audio. I have the ABC feed up, therefore I'm getting the fast feed, but I'm seeing things before you. If that were not a factor and I were forced to watch the game either on ESPN or on ESPN2, I would almost always go for ESPN2. And that's not to say that Joe Buck and Aikman are not a good team. They're as good as anybody in football at calling a game. But my preference is to watching the Manning cast just because I like Peyton and I enjoy them when they talk to their guests and they call things more analytically. They don't need to tell me a play-by-play of what's happening all the time. I'd rather listen for entertainment to them. But if you're watching just as a casual fan, Aikman and Buck are quite fine. So, first play of the second drive was a pass for nothing. About time the Vikings bucked up and made a play here. Big drive. You certainly don't want to fall down any more points after the start. Flores' defense is, I don't recall them getting behind or giving up many points at all last year, early in games. Lots of X factors here with the new coach and regime for the Bears, though. I mean, this guy, they've coached him up a ton. He breaks containment again after sitting in the pocket for a long time. Looks like a different quarterback. I mean, it's not even the same guy. If he's going to do this for any amount of time and be successful with it, the Bears got themselves a guy that might be able to help them win. I'm really not sure that wasn't a sack. First down, Bears out at about the 40-ish. Williams is now 7 of 7 for 52 yards, and he's also ran the ball twice for 21 yards. Run the ball again, this time, I don't think it's the backup running back. No, it's Moore. Moore playing running back. Fascinating. He's big enough, that's for sure. But certainly figure that the Bears have enough backs that they didn't need to give it to him unless they just really want him to get some more touches. Now he runs up under center. They're out in the shotgun. They're in the eye. Now they've motioned the tight end out and the fullback out. And the right tackle jumps. He's 2nd and 10. .228 to go, clock moving in the first. Vikings 2 3-and-outs, Bears on their second drive. Williams in the gun. Looks left, looks right, looks left again, over the middle. Caught. That's the second tight end. 84. Komet was not in the game that play. A little out and in back over the middle. Way too much time. Now with this threat to run the ball, the Vikings are having to be very careful with the lanes. 3rd and 2. This time they throw it to Odunze kind of quick and it's stopped short. They actually lose yardage, Rodgers. And because they caught it and went backwards, the Bears are going to have to punt. So the pass is a little bit behind 84. Caused him to juggle it and he couldn't catch it in stride. Run for the first down. And then that was a backwards pass that lost yardage. So first signs of the Caleb Williams we all knew and loved last year pops up on back-to-back plays, and the Bears will have to punt. And those live prices that were in the 7s and higher are going to be gone. This one's out of bounds. A little extracurricular here at the end. McCarthy comes back out, 58 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter. I think they're going to call another timeout. Man, that's brutal. Come on, Mouse. Bad job. 58 seconds. Play the quarter out and then go take your commercial. Jamin went in like this is real bush. By the way, I'm a favorite to be working into the second half at the very least, but Vikings don't show me a little bit of life soon, I'll discussively call it a night soon. I have lots of things to take care of. My NFL work for next week it's not all the way done yet. I need to look at a couple things, and of course to double check the injuries for today. I was spending a lot of time working on getting the stream ready to rock and roll for next week, and to see how much time it would take for the kid to make my page look nice and pretty. Live price, Bears. There is a 7. Bears 7 at Pinnacle, 6.5 at Circa, Westgate, a lot of other places in town and offshore, 6.5 minus money. Chris is 6 minus 34. That's the same as 7 flat, or maybe even a little bit. It's better. I don't know if it's probably a 40-cent line, so maybe not. Total 40.5 flat by and large is pretty par for the course. Chris has 40. So that's that. So that's where we stand. Nothing from here. Remember, if those of you who were with me yesterday, remember I said that no real interest in these Week 1 NFLs live and or halftimes, and really Week 2 is going to be kind of more of the same thing. I prepare the same way every year. My numbers are the same. I've had success for so long doing this and booking it, and seeing who bets what, and kind of charting everything. And even when haven't had a job the last couple of years, still get good information. And I've generally, like I said, even done well from start to finish. But the last 2 years have been disastrous early, and then I've gotten better late. So I made the conscientious choice this year. No early season stuff, especially Week 1 and 2. With other than pregame stuff, definitely nothing live or at halftime. So we do have the Vikings, and we're sweating the Vikings tonight. But in terms of going in for more, not going to happen. Going for the Bears, not going to happen. Just telling you what I would do. Mental bets, of course, those are what I'm trying to share with you, and that's the reason why we have the feed to begin with. So underway here. The next drive, 57 seconds to go. It's a pitch to the left. You got about 6, maybe 7. This one looks like they had a little bit more. They were a little bit more aggressive off the ball, but not so much. Just sort of half-assing it, like a training camp practice or something. Mason gets maybe 7. Another run to Mason. This is a first down for Minnesota, and that's going to end the quarter. They're out past the 30. Seven nothing into 1. Chicago leads Minnesota on their third drive after the Bears scored a touchdown and punted on their first 2. Live price 6.5 flat. There is some 7 dog money. Total 40.5. And the last play of the first quarter was the first down of the season for the Minnesota Vikings. Got a horrific addiction to Rolo candy. Chocolate with the caramel in the middle. Seems like every time I eat something, I'm trying to eat 3 or 4 of those after my meals. Not every time, but at least once a day. I see a lot of talk about this prop protection again and people getting hurt. The tight end for the 49ers got injured yesterday. There's somebody else, I forgot, who got injured. And all these people that bet him on over and their props get a refund. Needless to say, I do not agree with it. I have many opinions about this business, both pro and anti-book. Nothing's absolutes. There are always background reasons for some things to be, circumstances dictate everything really. But you're just setting an awful precedent, giving people money back for a bet that they lost. And if it's for PR purposes, that's great. But then when they ask for it again the next time, and you don't give it to them, all you're doing is creating animosity for future references. All right, here we go. McCarthy's still only thrown the ball one time. This is the third Minnesota drive. To be fair, he did drop back to throw it on third down in each of the first two tries and got sacked on both of them. Trips right, shotgun, empty backfield. Bears only rush 4, plenty of time. He airs it out. Man coverage, falls down, flat. Right, the coverage. Jones, the receiver, and the Vikings are in business. It's going to be about a 40-yard penalty. Took exactly one quarter, but I've got something to cheer about for the first time tonight. That'll shave the live price right down to 4. The fact that I'm watching the game in live, real time off the antenna, allows me to be able to give you the live price and not sound, be a play or 2 or 3 plays behind, as if I were watching the stream on one of my magic boxes, which basically, I'll say this every time until I get a big audience. Fox, ABC, NBC, and CBS, CW, Univision, Unimas. Those are the stations, Telemundo. Those are the stations I get on my antenna. And anytime there's a game on those, I get a fast feed. Anytime there's not, I'm behind you guys. Fake, and quarterback pulls it down and runs it. He can run too. Look, Ma. Anything he can do, I can do better. Give him 11. First down, Vikings. Second play of the second quarter, also positive. When the Vikes have 1st and 10, they're in the red zone. Be nice to get a touchdown and sort of slow down this momentum that the Bears have tried to build for themselves after the first drive. At the 16. Hand it off, back to the back. He gets maybe 5. So this is a little bit better, a little bit more purpose and intensity here by Minnesota on this drive. Naylor, Thielen, Jefferson, Mason's the back. No nap today. 2nd and 5 at the 12. Power play to the left of the safety shot the gap and blew the whole play up. You're going to lose 3. .67 just whiffed. That's bad recognition identification. It's going to look real bad on the tape. Vikings are now behind the sticks here. They're going to have to figure out a way to come up with a 3rd and 8 play. Back, shotgun back to the left, drops back, fires an out to Jefferson. The ref says it hit the ground first, not his best effort. First real flaw with the arm. You can be sure Twitter's going to let him have it too. I take that back. That ball's got to be caught. He threw it right to him. It was low, but he was already on the ground to get it. It would have been a first down. Got to catch that. Here I was talking about one of the best receivers in the league. That's a clear drop. Made the right read. They doubled the other receiver in the end zone. Field goal from 31 is good, so the Vikes get points. 7-3, Bears. 12:48 to go before halftime. There'll be another timeout. Don't worry, the mouse will jam it right in there. Live price, Cubbies 5.5 is the first one I see at 42 flat. I would suspect, given the math that goes into it, that sort of makes sense to me, both those prices. Baseball scores while we're in the commercial. Those prices, by the way, in the end game are largely the same everywhere. 45.5 on the Bears, 41 flat, 41.5 flat. Washington leads the Marlins 13-2, bottom 7 in Miami. Phillies 1-0, top 8 over the Mets. I actually liked over in that game. Oops. Cubbies trail Atlanta 3-1, bottom 7. I did play over in that game. That's no good. Reds Diego, Arizona Frisco, and Colorado Dodgers are all later tonight. The Cleveland Indians are up 10-0 over Kansas City, top 8. Minnesota, Anaheim, and Boston and Oakland are later on tonight. And Milwaukee and Texas, no score, bottom 4. The last game, Seattle hosting St. Louis in about 45 minutes. Not a full card tonight, but Mondays have been more full than Thursdays most of the year when you're talking about rest days, days off, whatever. Let's see. One girls basketball game, Atlanta leads Connecticut 68-52. End of 3. Spread was 15. Atlanta the favorite, 159.5 going in. That's all I've got. In other sports tonight, the college card, my next stream will be Thursday with the NFL game. That is Washington at Green Bay. And then also there's one college game that starts 45 minutes before that, North Carolina State, Wake Forest. So with that in mind, I'll be here right at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Thursday for the start of NC State, Wake Forest. I'll hang around till no less than halftime of Green Bay. Well, like I say, we'll see, touch and go how things are. I may stick around longer. I may not. We'll just see. Again, a lot easier to say that now. Once I get the professional stuff done in the background with the logos and the graphics and all the stuff to make it nice and pretty, I certainly will be in much more. It'll be much easier for me to stick around, and take little 5 and 10 minute breaks here and there while I eat and handle stuff on the side, and you guys can sort of hang tight and wait and handle your own things as before I get back. Ask questions, for me to get to when I come back, etc., etc. There is a flag on the kickoff here. It's probably going to go against the Bears. Most of the time on kickoff returns, if it's a penalty, it's against the returning team. Nope. Something against the Vikings. Anytime they wave their hands like this, I just call it an illegal procedure, because I think that the joke between friends back in the day was like every penalty is an illegal procedure. Personal foul, it's still an illegal procedure. All right. So what was it? They started. So what is it? A false start on the return? I've never seen that before. All right. So the Cubbies have good field position here to start the drive. 12:41 to go. Out at the 39. 4-man rush. Drops back again. Fires it. Oh man, Moore is wide open. Breaks a tackle. He's in field goal range already. Williams just zinged one out there. I'm not sure where the coverage was. Gain of 30. Gain of 30. Bigger formation here. One back for the Bears. Williams under center. Bunched in tight. Power play to the left. Cuts it back to the middle. That's more of the back. Give him 2. Williams has now completed 10 straight passes to start the game. I think that 10 passes in a row is the most he's ever completed in a row at any point in his career. Although albeit it's only 18 games old. More motion left. He started going forward. This is not the CFL. You can go ahead and give him tack on 5 yards there. I'm not sure what the Bears had in mind, but clearly Moore was excited to get going. Oh, Bill Murray's on the Peyton cast tonight. Sorry that I missed that. Hopefully awful announcing or someone will give me the highlights. Drops back. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, fakes a guy out. This guy is making. He looks like a poor man's Lamar Jackson back there with all he's making the Vikings chase ghosts. I've never seen anything like this before in my whole life. Third and long still. He ran about 30 yards to get about 6. The right guard for the Bears, his false started. So penalties might end up being the demise for Chicago here. Let's hope at least. Now inside of 10 minutes, it's 3rd and 11 now. That's 4 penalties for 57 yards on the Bears, only 1 for 5 for the Vikes. 57 yards is ballooned up by the 42-yard interference penalty. The other ones are little baby ones. Williams, shotgun again, backs it to the right. Commit to the right side, motions left, back to the right, trips. They run it. Nice play by Swift. He sort of finagles his way down for about 7. It'll be 4th and maybe 3. But the offense is going to stay out there for the Bears. Would be a 50-ish yard field goal, but this guy got some gamble to him, so not surprising they're going for it. Bears were 13th in the league. You know what? That was last year. I don't even want nothing to have to do with last year. It's got nothing or more. Nothing to do with anything. Took too much time. The analytics people at ESPN actually say kick. I don't say that I agree with them. Not that the guy can't make it. I just don't. I don't like it. I would rather. I mean, if it's 4th and short and your offense has been this good, and you got this much gamble to you as a coach, then why would you kick? I mean, if it was like a 40-yarder, maybe. I don't know. And if it's 4th and 2, I would go. 4th and 3, I think, from this far back, I think you kick it. I'm sorry. I think you go. If it's 4th and 4, maybe you kick. But, I mean, the last thing you want to do is miss it. Now you give them good field position. I have no problem with this. They called timeout to set up a play they want. 8:59 to go. The live prices are down until at least after this play. Makes sense. Drops back, fires it over the middle. Incomplete to Moore. I don't see any flags. And the Vikings will get it back on downs. Just like a turnover, we'll take it. Going to be a commercial. 8:55 to go before halftime. Bears 7, Vikings 3. Live price. Bears 3.5 and 39. I do see a 38.5 out there as well. This would be the time to go. I like Minnesota plus 3.5. I have a buddy I'm going to see. He seems to think the same way as me a lot of times on this. See if he has an opinion. Was there on 24? So it was only 41 yarder. This is regardless if I had any pregame action or not. Just wanted to put it in both the YouTube and Twitch chats to confirm that, yes, indeed, I think it's a good spot for the Vikings here. They sort of, quarterback obviously made a good throw the last drive. The receiver did make the play. That won't continue. He'll be fine. A couple of the drive enders early by the Bears were kind of freakish plays. The QB got sacked to end the first drive on third down, but it wasn't like he lost a jillion yards. I mean, he was aware of what was going on around him. On the second drive, he actually evaded the sack, but he got tripped. It might have been his own lineman, so it was kind of a bad break because it was going to be enough for a first down. So continued good play calling. I give the Vikings coaches edges there, even though they, the coordinator for Detroit clearly knows what he's doing with the Bear offense. They're off to a great start. The Minnesota coaches, especially the defensive coordinator, has made some adjustments here defensively. They've stopped the Bears the last two drives. I do think Minnesota will score here. It might only be 3 again, but they're going to eventually start to take control of the game. Bears have been much better than Minnesota in the stats, and yet they still lead at 7-3. I think the superior team will start to take over, figure some things out from the Bears, and eventually draw off. So Minnesota live, a good bet right now. 3.5 and 37.5 are the current live totals before the drive starts for posterity. Trips left for the Vikings after the snap is a handoff to the back. He cannot break containment. Jones gets maybe 2 yards. 44 for the Bears. Sewell stayed home. Otherwise, that play had a chance to do fairly well. Looks like all 6 of these first guys that were drafted in the top 12 are starters now. I guess the verdict's out about how good they're all going to be. Some of them had better success than others early. Drop back, and that's Hawkinson, his first catch. It'll be 3rd and maybe 3, possibly a short 4. Seems to me like that kind of play would be there all night. Don't know why they wouldn't consider trying to run it more often. Bear crowds into it. Jefferson did get 1 touch in the backfield, but he still only has one target, and that was an incompletion that he dropped down at the goal line. Jefferson's the one in motion. He catches it over the middle, very close to the first down. Probably a yard short. I think the Vikings will probably go for this. I would. Bears with an exotic look there. They did send a 5th guy, but the Viking defense did a good job. Or the Viking line did a good job picking it up. They're going to punt it. 4th and exactly 1. Not a long one, a short one, exactly 1. Duvernay back. Not a good punt. Out of bounds. Maybe only about 30 yards. Do not agree. The only thing good about that is that the Vikings are punting in that situation. That means clearly their coach thinks that he's figured some things out with the Chicago offense, and they're going to start to slow this team down, which certainly worth an under when that happens. Anytime an aggressive coach gets passive in a game, especially this early, it generally bodes well for the scoring to be sort of turned off. I think if you can get 38 or better on the live, it's probably a good bet, but looks like those aren't even coming anymore. Chris is 37.5, so is the Westgate Circus 36.5 with a little bit of over. Generally speaking, it's 5.5 out there. Pinnacle has 6.5, so I would have went for it, but easy for me to say that. Recommending a plus 3.5 bet that's now 5.5 and 6.5 again after the 3 and out. These Taco Bell deals, the 5 at $7 and $9. I don't really understand it. Like the $9 one isn't that much better than the 7 or the 5. For me, the 5's just fine. Like what's so good about the other two? Oh well. No questions? Feel free to ask if you got anything for sure. I'm not sure where they spotted that punt. It went out of bounds like way early. So the Bears have gradually had a little bit less success with each passing drive. They'll have the ball for the 4th time now. Vikings go 3 and out, field goal, 3 and out. Bears touchdown and a couple of punts. .652 before the break. Bears will have it at their own 34, 35, so only about a 26-yard punt. Williams' last pass on 4th down was an incompletion, his first of the night. So that Bears went touchdown, punt, down. Sorry. Play fake. Going to take a shot. No, he's not. It's knocked down. Incomplete. Big 90 got his Mitzkas on that. Rodriguez. Or Ingram Dawkins, sorry. That was an unbalanced line left. Max protect there, probably. How many? Only 2 receivers in the route. Vikings weren't fooled. Had plenty of covers. And here come the blitz. He breaks containment again. There's a hold. Passes a little bit over the head of the receiver, Dunze. Or that's Zacchaeus. So that was an A-gap blitz for the first time tonight. You figured Flores would dial that up at some point. And the running back got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. 10 yards is pretty significant, so even though it'll be 3rd and 10, it'll now be 2nd and 20. Yeah, that's a backup running back. He didn't stand much of a chance there. Oh, they declined it. All right, interesting. I like it. Make this kid complete passes, but you put him in negative down situations. I like it. He looked great when the script was on. Everything was there. So the Vikings punted the ball on 4th and 1 the last drive, and now they're declining a 2nd and 20 to get to 3rd and 10. They're saying you can't beat us when we know you have to throw it. I love this. Here they come again. 5 of them this time. Clock collapses, and they got his ass. Get his ass. I cannot believe he got out of this. They're still going to get only 2 yards. Jesus Christ. This kid, man, for Christ's sakes. You can't get him. He's like Lamar Light back there. To be fair, he holds the ball forever, and that's something that happened last year too. In this play, the receivers weren't getting open, and he still held the ball forever. Amazing that he was able to have the clock in his head to go off on time to get out of that mess. I cannot believe he did. 4th and 8 for the Bears. Taylor to punt, Price back deep for the Vikings. Hope he didn't get concussed in that earlier return. He's wanting to get out of the way. Now he feels it. Let's see. Where are they at? To the 24? All right, so the Vikings will start there. Not so bad field position. I still like my 3.5 bet. 5:52 to go in the half. There's going to be another commercial. I'll run down the lives to you here shortly. The under, again, looks really good at this point based on what just transpired. The Minnesota coaching staff has told you what they think of how this game's going to play out from here. When they punted the ball on 4th and 1 at that part of the field, down 7-3, Brian Flores is telling the coach, listen, man, we got this shit. Give us the ball, good field positions, and they're not going to score any more points. I like it. I think I agree with him. I like it. Unders live are good bets, and Minnesota live are good bets. The Bears are done. The scoring has been turned off. The Minnesota defense is a ferocious bear. No pun intended, despite who they're playing tonight. 3.5 flat, again, 36.5 on the totals. I still like under. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring left in this first half, and when the second half comes, the line's going to come, probably 21.5. I like under that too. Anything more than 21, if for whatever reason there's a 23, then I may have to break my own embargo. Trying to see if anything of importance is happening elsewhere. No. And the live price is pretty much cemented. 3.5 and 36.5 is widely the number. Chris does have 37 under 18, which, to be honest, that half point's worth more than the traditional standard. It's 8 cents. I would say under 37 would be a better bet than under 36.5. Lay the juice. If you can get to it. We're going to start back up in about 30 seconds. Jefferson has 2 targets, Oliver 1, Hawkinson 1, 13 total receiving yards. They'll have to do a little better than that. Dennis Allen, who's always been a good coordinator, calling the defense for the Bears. Let's see if the Vikings can figure some things out here. Again, the box score says the Bears are running them over. The fact is the scoreboard does not. One good drive here, and the Vikings are right back in it. Here's a handoff. A guy falls down. All kinds of space. Gets to the outside. There may have been a hold in there is what I'm guessing. It seemed like that was way too easy. The guys in white are walking back towards their own end zone. That's no good. It's going to be on 67. Always sucks. I generally do a good job of being able to see what's happening when somebody holds, but that play I didn't see it. When I miss it, when it's my team that does it, I really get sad. I mean, how did I miss that? I didn't see it live. I really didn't. He missed it. Maybe he missed the tackle because he held him. I thought he fell down. Jesus. I got purple tinted glasses on. Didn't mean to. All right, so 1st and 20. Shotgun. Fake. Throws it over the middle. It's knocked down by the linebacker. Damn it. I think he was open. Bears are in a zone here. Looks like just a skinny post. Hawkinson. Ah, fuck. That's a really nice play by 49. That wasn't the best pass either. It may not have even been complete. All 22 didn't tell the whole story. All right, 2nd and 20. Bears rush 4 all day. All day. Fuck! They're going to let this play out. No, they're not. God damn it! Fucking McCarthy. Jesus Christ! Another fucking deflection. Odom Badego gets this one. I mean, he's fucking... All right, I have to give the defender some credit. I thought the quarterback had a lack of awareness. It's more of a good play by the defensive lineman. This is getting fucking frustrating. You got guys probably running around open downfield. Guy's been tentative earlier. Now he's ready to try to wing it. fucking Bear guys are deflecting everything. You got a hold and 2 fucking incomplete deflections. Now it's 3rd and 9 miles. I love that. My favorite signal in sports. Reset the play clock. Nope. Flag. Coach does not like the delay there. I understand why they called it. It's because when the pass was incomplete, he's asking for it and they didn't give it to him. Rookie quarterbacks, if it was Pat Mahomes, you can damn sure be sure they would have gave it to him. 3rd and 25. Not a whole lot in the play sheet there, Coach. Sorry about that. Guess we're going to have to punt it away here. $5:15 to go before the break. Trips left, shotgun, trips right, shotgun back to the left. They swing it to him. Caught out of the shadow of the goalposts for about 7. Punt coming. Some frustration for the Vikings, and obviously the way that the last set of downs took place clearly warranted. The Bear defense didn't do anything spectacular after it was 1st and 20 and they knew passes were coming. 2 guys made great individual plays. Good punt, nothing doing. 4:29 left before the break. There'll probably be another commercial. ESPN loves doing that. I think the Bears took it out to about the 39. Live price. Well, they got a doubleheader next week. Bucks, Titanicals, and the Clippers and Raiders. Oh, I might have to go to that game. Why not? It's a late start. 5.5 on the live, 36.5. Chicago, the favorite, they have the ball. 4:29 to go before intermission at the sold-out Soldier Field. Bears back to the ground game after the last futility of the last drive, chucking it down the field. Swift, the rookie from Georgia, powers his way through for about 3, maybe 4. Bears are huddling. This tells me they're in no hurry to do anything here. Their goal is to make sure that the Vikings don't get the ball back before halftime. Power formation here. 1 back under center was Williams. More in motion, and there's a procedure. False start on one of the guards, it looks like. I'll set the Bears back 5. Second and 11. Shotgun, fires it over the middle, complete first down. Zacchaeus into Vikings territory, 3:15 left. Now the Bears are really about one more first down away from getting back in field goal range, and that'll be a perfect scenario. Getting any points at all and ensuring that the Vikings don't touch it will be a win-win. Way too much time for Williams to pick it out in the zone. Man, this Swift is a big dude. He ran into 2 Minnesota defenders and pushed them both forward. Instead of what should have been a 1 or 2 yard game at the most, he ends up getting 3, maybe 4. Clock moving, 2.5 to go. They will have to run one more play before the 2-minute timeout. More motion right, big formation, power play again. He's stacked up at the line, Swift for maybe a yard this time. The Bears are really trying to establish the run there, assert themselves up front, which I don't think is a good idea against this defense. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 2-minute warning. Bears 5.5, 6, which that's about the right line. I would say 6, 6.5, just given the fact that they have the ball at halftime and can double up. I did not count on the Vikings when I'm going live and recommending live at 3.5. The last 2 possessions having to go with punts on 4th and 1, and then getting a drive where they get an immediate penalty and go back to 1st and 20. I thought that at least they'd find a way to get some points before halftime, and the way that the clock's playing out at this point, the Bears aren't going to give them the ball back with any time left. They only have 1 timeout to begin with. Even if they get a stop on this play, I'm sure the Bears are going to do something that involves the clock running here. So even if they don't get it, the Vikings are going to have to make a choice. And if they get 3 or 4 yards, they're going to go for it on 4th down anyways, which means the Vikings probably won't call timeout to help them out in that standpoint. So in the best case scenario, the Vikings are going to get the ball back with not much time to begin with. And do you really want to put your rookie quarterback making his first start in a position where he might make a mistake to give the Bears points before halftime and then the ball? I just don't know. Like the way things are stacking up here, it just looks like it's an ominous. It's a little ominous for the Vikes. Like not enough things are going well. Live price, the 2-minute warning, 6.5. The total 35.5. Pretty much painted. Again, nothing I've seen so far makes me think that that's actually too high still. It's been nothing but unders. As soon as the Vikings punted on 4th and 1, that was your sign to say, all right, go under. Third base coach waving you around until further notice, under. They can't get the price right because the algorithm says, well, the game closed 43.5, so it has to be this. The score is this, and this much time left, and so it has to be this. No, it doesn't. It did early. Once you saw the Minnesota coach saying, all right, we got them figured out a little bit. Even though we're down 7-3 and we haven't done anything, we're still going to punt it to him because we trust that our defense knows what to do to slow this guy down or stop him. And so that's that. All right, 3rd and 5 at the 40. Shotgun, back offset to the right. Zacchaeus in motion now back to read the defense. 4-man rush, Williams throws it to him. In motion to the left, back to the right, identified it was man coverage, and Williams hits him. That's a simple play that can be run at really any level above about 8th grade. Once he saw the motion, man went with him. Komet clears him out. Just a pitch and catch. It's simple concept football. The route concepts there can be repeated and done at every level from literally 8th grade up. Clock was stopped on the first down, 155 left at the 33, 7 yards. Swift again, bangs it inside the 30, give him 4. And now the worst case scenario with the Bears run the clock all the way down and somehow get points, and the Vikings are left with their dick in their hand and no chance to score. This is rather embarrassing. The first downs are 7-3, but the Bears have a few big plays and they've outgained them 167-52. More importantly, they've had the ball the whole half too. They're going to end up having it 19 minutes before it's all said and done. They pitch it down at the back, and he powers his way forward for maybe 2 more. Clock continues to move, 1:10 left, third down. The Vikings have 2 timeouts left, not 1, so I misspoke there. They're going to have to get a stop here and then make a decision to whether they want to try to get it back and get points. Given how much they've struggled on offense so far, I'm not sure that's going to be the prudent move. Bears are in absolutely no hurry at all to do anything. They're still in the huddle with 15 seconds left on the clock. Third and 5 at the 28. Trips left in a bunch. Receiver back to the right. Now the Vikings are shifting out of formation. Motion right. And it's caught by Odunze, but he's blasted as soon as he catches it. And now the Vikings are going to play I dare you to the Bears. They call timeout with 28 seconds left on 4th and 3. And it's up to the Bears whether they want to try to take points here or or go for it. But clearly the Vikings were sick of this shit, trying to run it down and score at the gun. Let's see what they do. It's fairly close from here. I think it's inside of 40 yards. Looks like the field goal team's coming in for the Bears. I can't blame them. As good as their defense has played, you want to take points here for sure. You're getting the ball at halftime. $42-yarder. Right hash, snap, down, up. And he slides it right through the upright. Almost hit the bar. Almost banged off the bar. Not quite. Bears 10, Minnesota 3. 24 seconds left before halftime. Santos, a lot of English on this thing late. Or that or wind. Probably, well, I would say from 45 it might not have been good. $24 seconds left. Live price 6.5, and there is some. There's a $7 dog money. Total 33.5, basically flat. Vikes have 1 timeout left. Bears get the ball at halftime. Vikes are going to return the kick here. Little seam up the middle, but they got him at the 32. 19 seconds left. It's like what we saw last night's almost spoiled us because of how quick those teams have the ability to move the ball down the field. I think that's all the time that the Bills had left before the halftime last night, and they somehow got enough yards to get out and kick a field goal. How that clock had 1 second left on it, I still have no idea. The Ravens were running off the field. The ref with the great comment, all sorts of, Baltimore, please come back. Do not leave the field. It would have been funny if he'd have said, well, you can leave the field, but 11 of you got to come back. Trips right, back to the left, silent count. Takes some time, fires it over the middle. That's complete. Does he get out of bounds? That's important. Yes. Down to the 42, 11 seconds left. And the Vikings get to keep their timeout. So just what I was talking about. The Bears only rushed 4 trips right, and they were able to send the receiver on a cross. Now they're going to review this to see if he was out of bounds, in bounds. It looks like he was. They also got face mask, and they didn't call it. So you can't review the penalty, but you can sure review the knee, and I'm guessing they're going to make it. Yep, they did. So the Vikings have to burn their last timeout with 11 seconds left. The idea was good. That timeout is really important because it takes away anything that the Vikings want to do in the middle now. Naylor with a nice catch, and the Bear defender, nice job to make sure he didn't get out of bounds. So all in all, good play both ways. But a field goal would be really nice here for the Vikes after the way that they were ultra conservative the whole half. And, you let your quarterback have the ball and sling it down a few plays. I mean, great. Oh, they're not even going to mess around. They're going to kick a field goal from here. This will be a 58-yarder. Yeah, this is fascinating. They're going to. I mean, clearly he has the length. This is Reichard. Last year he kicked a 58-yarder against the Texans. I like this coach, but man, that's a lot of confidence in this guy to do this, given you have 11 seconds left. The more worrisome thing is, do you not have enough confidence in your quarterback to make a play to get it out of bounds in a few more seconds? I mean, 11 seconds is a lot of time, as long as you get out of bounds. 59, they're going to call this. Snap, down, up, and he hammers it, and it is good. All right. Who am I to question that Minnesota coach? He is the best. He is absolutely the best. So one play, and the Vikes get their field goal. 10-6, 6 seconds to go before the break. Halftime price is going to come very close to a pick 'em. I'll make it a pick 'em, actually. Maybe even Minnesota half point on top. How much is that good for him? Oh, not by much more. I give him from 61, maybe. 60 for sure. Jefferson likes it. Naylor likes it. McCarthy likes it. McConnell likes it. Reichard likes it. I like it. I can't argue with the total 21. Yeah, I'd say pick or maybe Minnesota half and 21. You may see 20.5 over money. You may see 21.5 under money in the second half line, but not much of a variance from that, and I tend to agree with it. 59 ties a record for this stadium. They've been playing at Soldier Field since, what, the early 70s? I know they played a lot of their home games when Sayers was the running back and Buckets was the linebacker at Wrigley Field. Uh-oh. Seam. Alley. Big return. But luckily, Durden's return has come at the expense of the clock running out to zeros. That'll do it for the first half. The Bears, much the better team for much of the half, but it's only 10-6, and I like the way that the game is trending. I'll stick around for the half for sure. Maybe some people will pop on here and chat and get involved with a little bit of discussion. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But that's why I'll stick around. And maybe for the first drive or two of the third if I got some people. If not, no big deal. Call it a night. No hard feelings. Bears 10, Minnesota 6. And as I said, the Bears do get the ball at halftime after deferring their option on the coin toss. Bears took it down the first drive and scored a touchdown after the Vikings punted. From there, it was punt, punt, punt again for the Vikings. And I'm sorry, field goal for the Vikings. Bears had a drive that was stopped on downs inside the Minnesota 25. The Vikings got a penalty after a big run play. They put them back to 1st and 20. And then it was deflection for 2 incompletions, and a punt after a short completion to the running back to get 5 yards and some space. Bears came back and eventually moved it 40 yards, milked a lot of clock, kicked the field goal, but they didn't milk enough clock. Vikings called a timeout and basically dared them to kick the field goal. Bears did that, and Minnesota got it. Okay return. Ran one play. Did not get out of bounds, so I had to call their last timeout. Coach says 59 yards. That's your range. Okay. We'll kick it from there. They did. And he made it by maybe a yard or so to spare at the most. So that's 10-6 at the break. Bear ball. Pick 20.5 is absolutely the nut line everywhere. There's not much variance at all. Anybody that's using a half is attaching juice to the other side. It's all Bear money minus a half dog money in town. I don't see any Minnesota the favorite. If they did, it would be the same thing. The money line is going to almost be assuredly minus 110 both ways. If someone wants to use, which I was all when I was a bookmaker, offshore and in town, if I had the chance, if you're booking, the problem is you get people have a chance to double bang you. So if you're dealing a pick line, you don't want to put the money line up too, because now if you have limits of a certain amount, they can circumvent those limits by double, hitting you for the money line and the spread if the spread's the same. But it's okay to let them do that if you're using the point spread minus a half either way with dog money attached, and the money line's minus 110. So if someone really likes one of the sides in the second half, they can technically circumvent the limits, but they're not if you use a half point dog money on either side and then, pick them flat on the money line, minus 110 both ways. And that's like I'm looking at like everywhere on earth, it's the same thing. There is some halves out there, but the dog price is the equivalent of minus 110 each way, which is what we see. Total 20.5. No movement. If you're betting this at this point, the market says you're gambling. Can't argue with them. I do like Minnesota. I do lean under, but I would never go under 20.5. Given the multiple opportunities you had in this game to go under 41.5 or better. If it was 38.5 when the Vikings punted on 4th and 1, that's when I knew, it could lose. But that's certainly the side that I would rather have, just based on the Minnesota defense sort of establishing itself after the Bears' first touchdown drive. They really haven't done a whole lot, strung together a whole lot. The quarterback's been great, but after the 10 for 10 start, they've sort of figured him out a little bit. I think the Vikings will find a way to win it, and still like them for the game, even though they have been outplayed in the first half. A lot of times that's what happens in a football game where the one team outplays the other in a game that's supposed to be pretty close to the spread or conceivably could be a two-way game, but they don't get separation for one reason or the other, and then the other team, when they have their run and start doing their things, then the game turns all the way around. Trust me, I've seen that happen a lot of times. I'm hoping to will it into existence. Other scores tonight in baseball. First, girls basketball, Atlanta 87-62 over Connecticut. That game, favorite gets the money under the total. Washington 15-7 over the Marlins, bottom 9. Phillies 1-0 over the Mets, that's final. Atlanta 4-1 over the Cubs is final. The Reds in San Diego just starting right now. The Reds a chance to gain another game, and the wild card standings on the Mets. That's their closest pursuer. They're like 4 back now. Phillies also extend their lead for the second bye over the Dodgers, who are off to. No, the Dodgers are not. They host Colorado. Sorry, fake news. Arizona, Frisco about to go in with Chris Matt and Webb in San Francisco. Dollander and Glasnow in L.A. 10-2 Cleveland over Kansas City final. Minnesota is in Anaheim just underway. Crochet is in Sacramento against the Oakland A's. That game goes in about 25 minutes. And the other two interleague games, Texas 4-0 over Milwaukee after a grand slam earlier, top 7. And St. Louis, Seattle just tipped off in the Pacific Northwest. That's it for the somewhat abbreviated baseball schedule. Only 11 games today. Halftime price again, no movement. There is some under money popping up at some places. Looks like Bet War went to 20. Paradise, who takes big bets on this stuff, 20 over 14. Bet Chris, who I think takes 10,000 on halftime totals, is now 20 and it's going under. So, yeah, there's a lot of steam on under here in the second half. And again, I told you earlier, can't blame them. The price is getting to where it's almost too low. I can't bet at anything less than 21, but I certainly see why they like it. just based on the fact that Minnesota's defense, I think, seems to have figured a lot of things out, and their offense still is fairly pedestrian. I do think they'll find a way to score a touchdown or two in this half, and I do think they'll find a way to win the game. Just a lot of good coaching and finding a way to win close games and make proper decisions. And the quarterback is a rookie, and not in name, but in playing experience. This is his first start. He was with the organization last year. He saw how they executed and what needed to be done down the stretch to go find a way to win games. Physical talent's there. As long as he's got it upstairs, and I think he does, then they'll find a way. And also, it's good to know, going back to high school, the guy's record as a starting quarterback is 63-3. The guy doesn't lose games. I mean, at Michigan, his last game was 20 months ago. It was a national championship game in college, and he won it at Michigan. So, I mean, whatever you want to say about game manager and all the other bullshit that involves that stuff, the bottom line is the guy wins. His teams win, and he'll put his team in position to win the game tonight if they make plays. I mean, his pass to Jefferson on the drive that got him inside the 10, they had to kick a field goal, was not his fault. That was at low, but Jefferson is an all-world receiver. I mean, he's one of the top 10 in the league at the very worst, and he didn't catch it. It cost him a potential touchdown drive. Yeah, this is getting blasted into oblivion. I don't know who's involved here. It's not like Barry Horse can do this to the NFL, but somebody's doing some sort of work to this thing. This is a Walters type move. It's already down to 20 under money. It's a full half point off it onto a key number and juice. So we're about 5 or 6 minutes away from second half kick. I'm going to call it a night after it does kick, just based on the fact there's not a lot of you here. And you can sweat this thing out on your own. It's week one. I've got some things to do clerically to get the site a little bit closer to being prepared for when the professional look and the back end stuff can get done. I need to discuss it with my designer about a few things. I think he was supposed to check out some stuff earlier to see a little bit of how it goes. A lot of the stuff that these people on Twitch work with have to do with gaming and video games and stuff like that. Other people on Twitch just fool around, and that they have also pretty sophisticated and exotic feeds as well. So I'm hoping that this guy can help me. Ahmed's his name. Hoping he can help me get it to look nice and pretty, and I can maybe get an elaborate setup and maybe gain some respect, not just with my professionalism on the air. Those F-bombs aside on the Minnesota drive, when they got the 2 balls batted down in a row aside, but professionalism with how things look presentation-wise. Let's see. Starting to be some over money finally at the 20 under 15 level. Still just mostly dead picks. I do not see Minnesota the favorite anywhere. It's pick flat or pick minus money Chicago or minus a half the dog 30, which is the same thing as pick flat or close to it. Actually, with the game sitting 4, it's not quite that much. The half point with the game sitting 4 in a low scoring game is probably worth about 17 cents, maybe 16 cents. Circus picked the dog a quarter. That's ballpark correct. Minus 25. Oh yeah, they have sorry, no, it's not. It's not a half dog quarter. So now they have Minnesota the favorite. So now there's Minnesota money at Circa. Don't know how big it is, but they made Minnesota minus a quarter, Bears plus a quarter, and that woke somebody up on the Bears. Plus 105, and now it's 115, 105. Now it's 118, 102 at Circa. So fascinating swing there. I don't know how much they're writing on these halftimes. I don't have the phone app pulled up to see what the limit is. That's something I got to do next week. Remind myself on Thursday to pull up all the apps in town and see what the limits are in the second half markets, both college and pro. some more over money now. So we're back to 20 over 15, 20 over at Circa, 20 over 16 at Pinnacle. Okay, so the big move under at the start of the half is face some buyback. And to be fair, like I say, guys, under I think is right, but there's a price for everything. Certainly, I guess it's hard to explain, but under is the side, but under at this price would not be a bet. Like how the game is playing out and what I've seen with my eyes and what I've told you about with how Minnesota seems to have figured some things out, and the defensive coordinators eager to get back out there, and they've kind of forced the offense to punt on 4th and 1 from a spot where they should have gone for it. It tells me that they think that they're going to slow this guy down. So it's the side, but the price is so low that it's hard to bet it. And so it's one of those things where you hope for a number that's bettable. If you want to go under, the game price was 43 and a half. How can you possibly think about going under 20 in the second half if you trust in the pregame market and how the game was supposed to play out? You know what I mean? Like in any world, the live line based on how this thing was supposed to go should have been 21 and a half, probably on the nose going into the second half. Give or take how the things played out, it could have been as high as 23, and it could have been as low as 20 and a half or so. So to see a 20 out there now, it's you're really saying that, wow, this is low scoring, and they can see it staying that way. And it's 10-6 Bears. It's not like it's 3-0. So really surprised that it's this low. But again, if you have under in this game, you certainly have the best of it. And any of the live stuff that I talked to you about earlier, I thought was correct on under. Like I say, once they punted on 4th and 1 in the second quarter, that to me was a telltale sign that under was good. And my one live recommended bet, of course, was plus 3.5 flat medium. 8:55 to go in the second when they got the ball at their own 24, which of course immediately preceded the drive that went 10-yard penalty, deflection, short pass, punt, and then punt. So, all right, here we go. Vikings kick it. Second half is underway. Bears return it 20, 22-yard line. They'll go down. That's where they'll start. 6 seconds into the quarter. I'll hang out for a play or two here into the third. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, ask them now or forever hold your peace. Lower Rutledge is very attractive. Let's see. Yeah, in-game total actually is 36 under money now. So, yeah, same thing as a half or close to it. All right, first play, bunch formation. Try to throw it over the middle, nothing there. They try to dump to the tailback, and also nothing there. Not his best effort. After the first 10 completions, which a lot of them I'm sure were scripted, he sort of have to go off now and make some decisions on his own, which is something he has not done well, even going back to his days at USC. Let's see if the Vikings... And this is a tough spot. To be fair, you got a new coach. It's only his second year as the quarterback. So new system, new coordinators, and you're going against one of the best defenses in the league with one of the best defensive coordinators, if not the best defensive coordinator, and the best head coach in the league. So he was 10 for 10 for 86 yards, now 3 for 7 for 26. And again, that's going to happen against a lot of people that this Viking defense plays this year. Van Ginken did not get there. Damn it. Another incompletion to commit on the right side, 3rd and 10. So the Bears start with 2 incompletions to start the second half. Bear coach does have a good poker face. I have not seen him deviate much from that expression every time they show it. Trips left for the Bears from the 22. The Vikes send 5 and another incompletion. Didn't get home. It's just not a good pass. They may have gotten, and he did get knocked down, but I didn't think that they got there in time to rattle him like that. So Bears 3 and out, and I will give you the live before I call it here. But yeah, certainly the tide seems to have turned a little bit. I don't know. He threw it. It wasn't even close, and he wasn't going to get hit yet. Just sort of panicked. Ball didn't come close to getting to him. So we don't even play 15 seconds. And the Bears go 3 and out, just like the Vikings did on their first drive. Vikes came at him a little bit. Down to the 31. He does return it. That's Price. Oh, he breaks the tackle. 35-40, 45-50. Down to the Bears 48. And we're in business here. 32 seconds into the half. Could not have started out much better for the Purple People Eaters. Live line now, Bears 2.5. And because that happened so fast, I'm guessing there'll be no commercial. And it happened so fast that I'm still here. I'm going to stick around for the end of this thing. Vikings play well, maybe I shouldn't go anywhere. I'm very superstitious. Here we go. One back. Quarterback under center. Motion left from Thielen. Play fake. All day to throw it, and he gets hit again. Fuck's sakes! It's all day until it's not all day. There is a flag. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe defensive holding. He did have forever. I mean, the quarterback saying he got hit in the face. The linebacker for the Bears is saying no shot. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Man, that's ticky-tack. I didn't see it live. Maybe I'll change my mind when I see it again. I've told you that I'm on the Vikes and want the Vikes, and I don't know, man. That's such a really, really chintzy call. They give those quarterbacks all the breaks. I understand it. Well, I'm not going to kick a gift horse in the mouth. That put them in field goal range right off the get-go, down to the 34. Here's a running play, and the Bears. This Sewell's been a real problem, and so is 50. Bear defense is all over the place. To be fair, that play was kind of blown up before it started, and you could really tell what was happening. There was no motion. He was under center. I think it was. You may have to check something here. See what his footwork looks like when he's under center and they run the ball. It may be different. They may have picked up a tell on the quarterback for the Vikings when they run the ball under center. I'll need to see the tape. I'll let you know when I see it again if I think they're going to run it. Cut back. They do get like 2 yards out of that, which seemed like impossible when the play started. Just a toss right into the short side, and Bears were everywhere. All right, big play here. Prefer to try to score touchdowns. Kicking field goals is for losers, as my friend John Murray would say, and his podcast partner, Kelly Stewart. Vikes are 0 for 5 on third down. Absolutely freaking awful. Not even awful. It's perfectly bad. It's woefully inept. Checking. He's checking to something. Got tapping his head. 3rd and 8. Shotgun. Back to the right. Trips left. He blocked the guy, and it's an interception. Bears read it, and he's going to take it all the way back, perhaps. Yeah, touchdown. Pick 6. 26 for the Bears. Game-changing play. Not sure whether they gave it up. That's something that they telegraphed in preseason, or something that they saw some other time on film where the defensive back just made a play. Don't know. That's what you call rookie growing pains. And game-changing play for the Bears. 12:51, that's Nashawn Wright, 74 yards. He goes the other way. 16-6 bad guys, big mountain to climb now. I'll give you the live line, then I'm calling it. Whatever superstition and goodwill I had built for myself is now gone. I'm going to sit here and smash something in peace after I log off instead of doing it in front of all you guys on the live feed. Next week, there's a Monday night doubleheader. I do not know how I'm going to handle that yet. Probably stick around for the first game and half of the second. But again, it just depends on whether my graphics guy gets the design stuff done early or not. We'll see. 17-6 Bears, and anything that I thought involving under is in peril now. That's what happens when you get a defensive or a special team touchdown. And also the Vikings bet's no good either. It was not part of the handicap. I thought the Bears were going to be stuck on 10, maybe 13 at most, given what the Minnesota defense has done for them, against them. Now it's going to be up to the offense to do it because I don't think the Bear offense has to score any more points the way things have gone so far. But after a great start to the second half, the finish or that's really the thing about that is that they had 3 in the bag, given that kicker making a 59-yarder. They were going to have a 50-yarder or a little bit less than that from there. They didn't gain a yard. Sorry, 48-yarder. So yeah, that takes the wind out of the sails. Instead of it being 10-9, it's now 17-6, 10-point swing. Live line 8.5, Bears 42.5. No clue, no idea. I'll let you guys sweat it out the rest of the way. 12:51 to go in the third. 17-6 Bears. Go Vikes. Otherwise, thanks for checking in. Appreciate your time and effort. God bless. I'll be back on Thursday for the doubleheader. The one college game at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and then the NFL game 45 minutes later with Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth from Green Bay. Take care. God bless. Good night. Be well.